Good morning, children. How are you all today? Welcome back to the social session. Children, in the previous session we tried to understand how to draw a temperature map for minimum and maximum, and we also tried to understand why difference in temperature is found in atmosphere, what are the various reasons, the land and water bodies, how they vary in getting heated up, and the other reason like height, elevation of the land also plays very important role in telling us about the temperature. Today, let us learn about the earth movements and the seasons. The movements of the earth, there are two important movements of the earth, as you all know that. One is rotation, the other one is revolution. So we shall learn about this rotation and revolution, how they causes the seasons and what is the importance of seasons. Let us see in today's class, children. As you all know, children, human beings live along with a large number of large community of plants and animals. And you also know it, you might have observed a constant change in the surroundings in the course of time. As the time passes through, you might have observed showing the different kinds of fruiting and flowering of the plants, and even changes in the animal activity, etc. And as the months pass by and as days pass by, you would notice that trees will shed the leaves, and trees keeps on sprouting leaves. They develop and they ripen. They sometimes give the flowers and fruits. So these all process of giving a tree changes from one period of time to another period of time. These all things happen. We get different kinds of vegetables and fruits also in different time of the year. Mango comes in the month of summer, in the season of summer, but whereas custard apple comes in the season of monsoon. So likewise, different kinds of vegetables, different kinds of fruits come in different times of the year. Some are in the hot season and some are in the wet or cold season. You get these kind of fruits and vegetables. Most of the Indian subcontinent actually witnesses broadly three kinds of season. One is summer, second one is rainy, that is monsoon, and third one is winter. These are the major seasons which broadly the Indian subcontinent experiences. But whereas the far south, that is Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Andaman region, they never experiences cold winters. Here the temperatures are very moderate, and why they are very moderate, we have seen in the previous lesson itself. The difference between the land mass and the water body is getting heated up. So that's the reason why you don't find chilly cold winters in the far south region. Whereas the northeastern side, when you see, you don't find that much of hot conditions, or very brief summer season you find in the northeastern states. Most of the North India, however, will experience chilly cold winters and hot summer season, and even as a rainy season, the monsoon season. These three are mostly experienced in the northern part of India. And when we look at the ancient Sanskrit literature has divided the Indian seasons into 6 types, into 6 varieties. That means there is a intermediate season for each main season, and there are 6 seasons, and those are Vasanta, which in English we call it as a spring season, and Grishma is summer, and Varsha is monsoon, and Sharad Rutu. These are called as Ritus actually, Ritus, and Vasanta Rutu, Grishma Rutu, Varsha Rutu, Sharad Rutu, Hemanta Rutu and Shishra Rutu. Shishra is nothing but winter, Hemanta is a pre-winter which has a very pleasant atmosphere, and Sharad is autumn, Varsha is monsoon, and Grishma is summer, very hot, and Vasanta is a spring. So many kinds of agricultural operations are also involved with these 6 ritus. If you look at India's most of the agricultural season operations, like Vasanta marks the end of the cold winter, Vasanta marks the end of the cold winter, and many kinds of flowering of trees, and is also the time for the harvest of the winter crop. If you look at a number of communities, India welcome their new year also during this season, and they celebrate it with different names in different parts of the country, such as Vasanta Panchami, Holi generally, and Ugadi, which is a Telugu New Year, Ugadi, and Gudi Padwa, Vishu, Bihu, and Baishaki, Pulnandu. These all are the different new years of different communities which is celebrated during the Vasanta season, Vasanta Rutu in our country. And Grishma is the time when it is the hottest in the entire India, in the most parts of India, and Varsha Ritu marks the beginning of the rain, okay, where the agricultural operations start from that time, and most parts of India receives rain also during the Varsha Ritu. Most parts of the India become, the skies become very clear, and the monsoon crop ripens during the period of Sharad, that is the autumn, and the festivals like Dashara comes during this period only. Deepavali also comes during this period, and this is followed by a very pleasant period of time across the country called as Hemanta, and next is the Shishra, which is a winter season, which is chilly cold. So most of the Himalayan region receives snowfall also during the Shishira Ritu only, most of the Himalayan region. Even today also they receive the snowfall. And a number of crop harvesting festivals like Lori, Pongal and Makara Sankranti are celebrated during this season only. That is Shishira, winter season. And subpolar and temperate regions of the world typically experience 4 seasons, the remaining parts of the world, not India. India experiences this 6 kinds of ritus, but whereas the remaining part of the world, mostly the temperate zone region and the subpolar region, experiences only 4 types of seasons. One is spring, summer, monsoon and autumn. They experience only these, and spring, summer, autumn and winter. And in the first picture, this is a picture which I would like to show you. You observe this picture very carefully. This is picture 1, this is picture 2, this is picture 3, and this is picture 4. So what do you understand by these 4 pictures? First picture, snowfall is there. Second picture is very clear. Third picture, bare. And fourth picture, red leaves, ripened leaves have got grown up and they keep on shedding. These different pictures of the same tree has been taken out in 4 different seasons. So which tells us that the third picture you can see the same tree sprouting the leaves and there is no snow. And in the second picture we have seen that the tree has a fully grown leaves, and in the last picture we have seen that the ripened leaves are shedding, that is falling from the same tree. So why these all happen, why these changes happen? Yes, that's right, these are due to the different seasons. Have you ever seen your surroundings, have you ever observed your surroundings covered by snow? You may have seen it flooded by water during rains, isn't it? You might have seen. Some parts of the earth get so cold during some months that they get snowfall instead. This picture is actually taken at Lancaster in USA, and it snows heavily in the northern USA during winter. And in summer months, it is not so cold, but still much cooler than our state. And however, the funny thing is that in those countries, the day is much longer in summer, so much so that you can see the sun even at midnight. That is the most funniest thing. During the summer, you find that the daytime is very longer and you can see sun even in the midnight. So this is how we can understand about the different kinds of seasons. And if you look at Australia, South Africa and Chile on the globe, these are also called as the southern continents. That is, continents that are located south to the equator are called as the southern continents. Australia and Chile or South Africa, and many other parts, South Africa even, which are to the southern side of equator. These are called as southern continents. These continents are located to the south of the equator, and in these continents the cycle of season is different. So what we have studied here about Indian subcontinent and about USA, these all are located in the northern side of equator, but the cycle of seasons in the southern side is completely different, and When we have winter, they have summer, and when we have summer, they have winter. That is in the reverse. In fact, this is a pattern in all places to the south of the equator even. So when we have summer, the southern part will have winter. When we have winter, the southern part will have summer. So that's the contrast, opposite in the northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. So you are not the only ones with such questions. For thousands of years, human beings have been curious about the pattern, and they were also very curious, worked out for the answer. Now let us try to understand the seasons change, and why are some parts of the earth get warm and some cold, and why are the seasons opposite in the northern hemisphere and in the southern hemisphere. What are the factors which influence these seasons? There are 4 factors which influence the season. Why there is a change of season in the northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere? The first reason is the spherical shape of the earth is the first reason. The spherical shape. Earth is not flat. Earth has a spherical shape. So the curvature of its surface is also a reason for the change in the seasons. Second reason is the daily rotation of the earth on its own axis. That is the second reason, the rotation of the earth on its own axis. And third reason is the tilt of the earth, the axis, the tilt of the axis of rotation compared to the plane on which the earth moves. It's tilted, it's not straight. Okay, earth is a little tilted. The tilt of its axis is also a reason. The fourth one is the earth's movement around the sun once in a year, that is the revolution. So we need to understand why the changes occur in the seasons are because of the 4 factors. The first factor is about the curvature of the earth. Second factor is about the rotation. The first factor is about the curvature of the earth. And second factor is about the rotation of the earth daily. Third factor is about the tilt. And fourth factor is about the revolution of the earth. These are the 4 factors which help us to understand why there is a change of seasons in a year, and why there is summer in northern and winter in southern. When it is winter in northern, why it is summer in the southern. Why this variation occurs. In order to understand that, we need to discuss about these 4 factors in detail in our next class. Thank you, children.